what did the team do well that you can build on going forward?
I think we have some positive takeaways. Obviously, it's hard to lose a match like that. We felt like we had some really good moments and some really bad moments. I think some of the good things we did well was we were taking some aggressive swings out of system. I think what we need to be better at is just being more consistent. Serve receive passing was there sometimes, but wasn't at others. And when we can be in system, we are a good team. So we had some of those moments where we were in system and Sage was running a good offense and we were getting some good kills, but then we had too many moments in between where we weren't in system and kind of not falls apart, but just doesn't get as easy when you're out of system.
You had just mentioned the team being out of system versus getting in system. How much of the team being out of system would you credit to your opponent Omaha versus attributing to the Rise?
I mean, we got to give them credit. They came at us with some aggressive serves. So they had a couple servers that went on some runs, and that really, in the end, could have been the difference when you only lose by a couple points here and there. So you got to give them credit, but also I think we can always be better. We're training every day and serve receive and just kind of locking in and focusing a little bit more. Like we're going to give them the credit they deserve, but we can always be better.
Thanks. How did the absence of Carly Snyder affect the flow of the offense today?
Yeah, I think, obviously we lost Carly between last game and this game. Kind of found out this morning, so it was a little bit, when you lose your captain and have to kind of adjust, it's a bit of an adjustment, obviously. We definitely missed her out there, but I do feel like we have a great team with some depth, so we shouldn't rely just on one player. We should be able to kind of seamlessly work new players in, and we're all training hard, we're all working hard, and we're one unit. So we definitely missed her, but we should be able to kind of bring players in and out more smoothly than we did today.
Sure. Final question here. In the first 6 games of the season, the Grand Rapids Rise have only won one first set. How much more challenging is it to win 3 of 4, 3 of the next 4 versus winning 3 of 5 in a volleyball match?
Yeah, you definitely put yourself behind the 8 ball there when you lose the first set. It's not impossible to come back and win. We've seen some reverse sweeps this season in the league, but just a little bit more uncommon, right? So that first set is kind of secures okay, we have the advantage, and then you can play a little bit freer. When you lose the first set, you feel like you're fighting to get back in it. So I think we did a good job in the second of coming back and fighting to get that second set and make it even. But it's definitely not helpful when you lose more first sets than you win.
Cool. But what did the Rise do well that you all can build on going forward?
Honestly, I feel like we were a little bit more put together when it came to serving, and as well as blocking. I feel like our blocking was pretty good today. I think we could work a little bit more on communication, and like there were a lot of situations in which we would lose a point and then just kept piling up instead of like getting out of that and try to focus and
Is that something that gets improved through practice, or I guess when you mentioned how to improve those things, how does that happen?
Yeah, I feel like communication, I mean, all of this definitely through practice. I feel like communication would definitely get better once we, I'm not saying that we don't know each other, but once we like get to know each other much better on the court and get to like play together more, as not just on games, practice as well.
Thanks. In the first 6 games of the season, the Rise have only won one first set. How much more challenging is it to then win the match when you lose the first set?
I mean, it's always challenging when you're a set down, but like when you're points down, when you're anything down, we just gotta pull ourselves together and focus a bit more and correct the small elements, because I feel like when we are doing good, we are actually that's good. That's really good. So we've got to focus on that and try to correct the negative things that we are doing or the mistakes that we are doing.
How did the absence of Carly Snyder today affect the offense specifically?
Well, she's one of our strongest hitters, and also as far as her energy on the court was, I feel like it was missed. Specifically, I mean, I did miss her on the court. Yeah, it was really important to have her. But I think also that I feel like Maeve did a good job as well. So I want to praise PBR and Maeve as well.
How does what you do as a setter facilitate the rest of the offense?
I think as setters we have a really big job. We kind of have to put our hitters in really good positions. Whether the pass is good, bad, whatever it may look like, we have to make the most out of it and put them in a place where they can score or a best case scenario with what's given to us. It's a really hard job. You have to run a lot depending on the night. And so, yeah, I mean, our passers help us, our hitters help us. Without a good hitter, you don't get any assists. Without a pass, you can't get an assist either. So it's all working in unison.
You did also have 2 blocks to go with 11 digs and those 36 assists. How would you evaluate your overall performance tonight against Omaha?
I think I did all right. It was really hard. I feel like we were struggling to put the ball down. And we talked a lot about being tentative in the timeouts and trying to work out of really tough situations that we were in. Omaha's a really good serving team, so it was hard to kind of run an offense as efficiently as I would have liked to. But, I mean, when you can't get an assist, you got to play defense. So I'm glad that I could contribute in some type of way. But, yeah, definitely going to be working on that this coming week.
The team did fall today to the Supernovas, but what did Grand Rapids do well that you think can be built on going forward?
I think with every loss we learn a lot as a team. I think right now we're kind of just struggling to like find the fire in the red zone and find ways to close out sets, whether that's coming from somebody coming in off the bench or a server or a hitter. That's something that we're really kind of emphasizing in the last 2 losses and trying to figure out how to deal with. So, I mean, losing sucks, but it exposes things that we need to be better at. And I think as long as we can learn from tonight and what happened on Thursday, that we'll put ourselves in a good position in the future.
You had just mentioned, you said the fire in the red zone. Are you referring more to the competitive ability of the team, or I guess the competitive spirit, or is it more just the execution?
It's kind of both. We get into kind of lulls and dips of games when it's like 2020, and we just need to find a way to finish them, and we're not really being efficient when it comes to finishing at that time. And so whether that's a player or just overall energy, kind of wanting the ball or begging for the ball so that you can be the one to finish out a game, that's just kind of what we're trying to find right now. So whoever wants to do it, more than welcome to.
In this match, there was no Carly Snyder. It was mentioned earlier, I think Allison Mayfield said that you guys found out as a team this morning that she wasn't going to be able to go.
Mm-hmm.
How did her absence affect the offense?
Yeah, Carly's a great server, so we can always rely on her to go back to the line and take a rip. She's also a really solid passer and serve-receive, and her passing next to Paige and Elena for the last 2 seasons, or this being the 2nd season, I think that just makes them feel comfortable as a trio. So whether it's in practice or before a game, whenever we're getting serve-receive reps, the 3 of them are always passing together. And so I think Maeve going in there and trying to replace Carly, she did a great job, but it's really hard when that's something that we've been doing the whole season, and it kind of just happens at the last minute, so we don't really get time to practice it. But Carly's a really big part of our team, so it kind of sucked to not have her out there tonight.
Sure. Yeah, final question here. In the first 6 games of the season, the Rise have only won 1 first set. How much more challenging is it to win 3 out of the next 4 when you lose the first set versus obviously having to win 3 of 5?
Yeah, it's hard to dig yourself out of a hole for sure. And that's one thing that we've been talking about too, is starting off stronger. And we kind of let teams jump on us first, and we're not really being the first ones out or being the aggressor in a lot of these games. And I think that's just an overall thing and theme, is finding the aggression in everything that we do. And it's just really difficult because everybody's such a nice person. So on the court, like, to be nice is one thing, but to have somebody that's like, yeah, we need to get this point right now is another. And I think that's just something that we need to start being accountable for. But yeah, we definitely need to start off stronger and not put ourselves in holes.
what did the team do well that you can build on going forward?
Well, I thought that we did find moments where we were really cooking in the middle, and we had some right side attack. We were doing some different things that I thought were really good. I thought our blocking came alive later in the game, and that really kind of helped turn us around. I thought our serving got more aggressive, and you started to see the remnants of that. But we just had too many ebbs and flows in the game.
There was no Carly Snyder in this match. Allison Mayfield mentioned that the team found out this morning. Can you comment on the extent of her injury?
No, I mean, we're just hoping for the best. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't talked to anybody today after, so we're seeing where it's at and where she'll be.
Cool.
Yeah.
In the first 6 games of the season, the Rise have only won 1 first set. How much more challenging is it to win than 3 of the next 4 sets versus 3 of 5?
I think you got to stay in the battle no matter what, because if you're looking through this league, there's so many 5-set matches and everybody's going toe to toe. So if you make a decision on that's going to be the issue, you either win the first and then you go cruising. I don't think any team can say that. There's been reverse sweeps. There's been different things that have happened. So I don't put a lot into that. I just want to make sure that we're fighting to win and that we put ourselves forward. Game 1, you try to identify what people are trying to do to you and how we're going after them and if it's working or not. But that way you can kind of gain information and continue on.
Allison Mayfield played a lot more in this match than previous. She was tied for 3rd on the team with 11 points. How would you evaluate her performance?
Yeah, I think it was it was kind of a quick turnaround for her, saying, hey, she's going. Of course, we have the next man up all the time, and so we've got to be ready for those things. But I thought Allison came in and did a good job and went for it and passed well and took some good swings and helped us in those areas. That was great.